Yeah, I was more likely to do one of the Mario videos today, but I got my HDMI splitter extremely early. I only ordered it yesterday, and it came in. Well, what I don't understand is it must have came in yesterday, considering I ordered it yesterday and today's Saturday. So I'm a bit confused as to just how quickly it came here through Amazon. I'm pretty sure the Canada Post is closed on the weekends. But alas, I got it early, and from what I can tell, it seems to be working. So now I can record most Vita games. There are a few which are incompatible, but I only have one so far, which is Slugs. So this is going to be a messing around slash test video. Also, my TV is on mute. Now, I am probably not going to beat this game because, well, I did not realize when I bought it that it does not play by arcade rules, which is you keep punching quarters in until you win. No. I discovered not that long ago that there actually is a game over. But alas, as I said, this is only a overall test video, so this isn't going to be a full LP. I will try and get as far as I possibly can, but well, you'll understand it's been a while since I've played arcade games. And even when I did play arcade games, I tended to, well, do how I usually play arcade games, which is kind of like a test of a test of endurance, you know? It's why I'm always hesitant to pick out arcade games for the home console. Because for one, I know they're not how I usually play. Which is just, you know, keep going until you endure. Yeah, you eventually... You try not to die too much. But I mean, it's an arcade game. It's inevitable that you're going to, die. That's how arcade games are designed. You die, you put in more money. You know? I remember playing this, or at least some of the little Slug games in the arcade, though I must confess I'm not 100% certain which ones, or even, oops! Yeah, I should have realized that, but even if they were, honestly, little Slug games. But I've always liked this series. You know? Despite me not so much playing arcade games nowadays, I do rather enjoy most of them. I guess I prefer to play them the way the arcades have you play them, which is kind of a, you keep paying till you win versus the, limited they have now. And yeah, you can argue, you know, where's the challenge? Well, not particularly in Metal Slug, but in, Radius, which I did, messing around with a while ago, just to, well, let's check out the record off my PS4. It has a difficulty setting. And it has a lives option where you can choose how many, lives you, sorry, that wasn't to me. The arcade port is going to give you that option, I think that sort of a challenge doesn't fit well with me, you know? Like, yeah, I do like challenges, but sometimes, you know, for arcade games, for me, I've always wanted to get sort of, classroom as best I can. You know, that's how I always played arcades games, is, classroom as best I can. And that's what I liked about them is, you know, so long as you kept punching in quarters, you were inevitably going to, beat the game. Inevitably going to beat the game. Now, back when they did arcade ports during the, age 16-bit, you know, back before the true ports came along, there was a necessity to, you know, kind of limit that you endure and just keep playing until you beat the game because arcade games are short. And if you pay full price for a, video game and you beat it in, say 45 minutes, well, they ain't exactly going to sit well now, is it, you know? Ain't exactly going to sit well. But, you know, games like that were essentially purposely cheap for that reason because, you know, there honestly wasn't that much content to, put in a cart, you know? And games, you gotta make a game last long, so you just, you know, make it so that it's a die in enough time to have to start the entire game over. I understand why they did that back in the day, you know? Nowadays, that's not really a issue. Even with games that have a kind of have a game over, like Mario and the like platformers, Mario, what have you. Yeah, I didn't remember if I told Browning's that or not. Continue. I will give credit where credit is due. There actually are a lot of continues in at the very least, it's an little Slug game. But it's not infinite continues. And I wanted infinite continues. Infinite continues, infinite lives in a real arcade game, or at least the option, you know? Because as I said, if they have a difficulty option and a option to give you as many lives as you like, well, that's not true arcade experience, now is it? That's not really true arcade experience. You know? Oh. Got hit by a grenade and I have the shotgun. To me, a true arcade experience will be if you have the option to just plow through until the end of the game, until you endure to win, you know? That to me is a true arcade experience. No, I don't know if I will continue this game. I do know there, or at least I do believe there's actually a save game option. So maybe I will actually make an attempt to actually finish this. And of course the other Metal Slug games. I got the Metal Slug Anthology, which I believe is most, if not all, of the Metal Slug games. Now the thing that kind of annoyed me is I got it for the Vita. You don't have it for the PS3. And it has it available for the PS4, but if you buy the Vita version, you don't get the option of having it for the PS4, you have to re-buy it. And that to me seemed, that's just wrong to me, you know? That's just wrong. But I do have the PS Vita, or not the PS Vita, I am keeping my Vita. I have the PS TV, so I can record the, well, not even really specifically the Vita games, more the PSP games that I want to record. And it didn't cost me an expensive Vita capture card. Because capture cards are expensive. Now they are cheaper if you just get the capture card hardware and install it yourself, but I don't trust my skills for that. I will of course be getting eventually a 3DS capture card, more specifically a new 3DS capture card, because why wouldn't I get the updated model? The 3DS I have now is has issues where if it's not plugged into the charger, it won't work, which is a shame because it just completely gets rid of the portability factor. Now the truth is I pretty much neglected my 3DS for way too long. The only real reason I've paid attention to it now was I got Dragon Quest VII and Metroid Samus Returns, and I intended to play those games. I instead ended up playing a game that I wanted to play for a while and just completely forgot I had it on my system. And that's probably default. I'm currently playing Super Bravely Default, and I can tell you right now, most definitely not playing the way they intend you to play, because I am just started the first chapter, and because you level up not just your characters, but jobs, I'm trying to level up the characters to at least one maximum job ability, and that takes quite some time, you know? I am very, very over-leveled for the point of game I'm at now. Very, very over-leveled for the place where I'm supposed to be. I'm like arguably endgame levels right now. like not level 50, but well above level 40, level 40. And as I said, I just ended the prologue, and not that far in the very first chapter. But as you all know, when it comes to me in RPGs, I do not believe in overleveling. I do not believe there is such a thing as being over-leveled. I rather like, you know, level grinding, but you gotta understand my first RPGs that I played willingly to completion, and was Final Fantasy VIII. I did not start out with Final Fantasy VII like most people did. In fact, most people my age probably started out with the original Final Fantasy or one of the damn it, RPGs for the Super Nintendo. I didn't have a Super Nintendo. I had a Sega Genesis, and as I've stated many times, my introduction to the Japanese role-playing genre was not a good one. So I got into JRPGs very late considering my age, and guess how much I adore them right now. Not so much with Western RPGs. Western RPGs, you know, despite me always preferring consoles, I was more a PC gamer growing up because my dad, well, he owned a PC store and he always had some sort of business to do with computers. Now, Western RPGs, I had a love-hate relationship back then, especially the Dungeons and Dragons one, specifically the dungeon crawlers, because for me anyways, the rules of tabletop gaming do not work well for video games. They just don't. Because if you are relying on a dice throw for everything, including just simply hitting your enemy who may or may not have high AC, well, it just doesn't make that much sense in a video game, especially back when I was a kid, you know. You keep swinging your sword, your enemy is not being hit, and you can't help but wonder why. And the biggest problem with the way games were back then is they didn't show you the dice throw. So you didn't know, for example, why you were on. How do I throw grenades? That's how I throw grenades, okay. So it was very confusing, you know, constantly swinging your weapon or whatever, and you're just always missing the guy. I can accept that in tabletop gaming because, you know, for one, it's not a video game. The combat in tabletop gaming is also just, you know, slow. You know? And there's usually more than one person involved too, you know? So there's just simply more people involved, you know? It can take, like, half an hour up to an hour to defeat to complete combat in a tabletop game setting, where in a video game that doesn't make much sense. You know? You know, tabletop, you move, you fight for the just, you roll your die. You see if you hit, you fight for the just, you retreat, you attack, you retreat, you attack, you evade, you attack, what have you. In video games, you pretty much want a little bit more fast-paced than that, you know? A little bit more fast-paced than that. Even games, D&D games, video games, which I enjoy, like the Baldur's Gate series. Not a fan of most of the combat, but it's, you know, a little bit more bearable just simply due to it having more people. It being more of a team setting versus a one person in a dungeon like Dungeon Hack, which I remember playing back in the day. And having a love-hate relationship with. You know? Okay. I do, however, you know, The Elder Scrolls is a series that I grew up with. That to me is a beloved series, and I am a bit disappointed in the direction it seems to be going. It seems to be, to me, dumbing down the, gameplay to, appeal to more people. But I understand why they're doing that. I do understand why they're doing that. And don't get me wrong, it's still, for me anyways, an enjoyable series. It's just, the replay value is less. It's more of a, constant play value versus a, replay value now, you know. The same holds true even for Oblivion, and from what I can understand, Morrowind, though. I didn't play Morrowind when it first came out. I only recently got it on, well, not recently, I've had it for a while, since I haven't, gotten that far with it, because I missed, overall, I'm not a fan of playing those kind of games on a PC. I've always preferred playing those kind of games with a controller over mouse and keyboard, despite, you know, the argument that a mouse and keyboard is superior because it just gives you more access to, say, conjuring up spells or weapons or what have you. Which I can certainly understand why, especially in a game like Skyrim. But I just, you know, I just always preferred having a controller over a mouse and keyboard. For most games, anyways. Games that, like, Civilization or an RTS or what have you. Yeah, no way this can even be played well with controller, and I remember a few of the attempts back during the PlayStation N64 era. And yeah, I do say PlayStation N64 era despite the Saturn being part of it, but the truth is, I also didn't know anybody growing up who owned a Saturn. In my school, we were so fed up with the Genesis add-ons that we kind of, even the die-hard Genesis fanboys kind of gave up on Sega, and in the cult school, the private fucking religious school I went to was all N64 because we were all big kids back then. And, you know, this was the time where having the greater amount of bits was not as important as it was back during the previous generation, you know? We were young back then, we didn't know any better. I should have known better being a PC gamer, but you know. I wanted them bits. I wanted them bits. Eventually, my sister got a PlayStation. And the simple truth is, I just always, after that, just preferred the, PlayStation were for the, N64. In fact, the, N64, the simple truth of it is, it was such a, underappreciated console for me that when I, pretty much got one for free, as well as a bunch of games, some of which most of which I remember enjoying, but they haven't aged well. Well, I ended up selling it. I ended up selling it for a very, high price to a, to a young gentleman who grew up with the N64. That was probably his first console. So the nostalgia factor for him is significantly greater for the N64 versus mine, where, you know, there were a few games I thoroughly enjoyed on it, but playing them back, like GoldenEye. GoldenEye was one of the games I got for free. I pretty much moved into my uncle's and found an N64 with 4 controllers. Some of them rarer. Anyways, 4 controllers and a bunch of games. Most of which I remember playing, some of which I wasn't aware of. GoldenEye being one of them, and GoldenEye, I just, you know, I honestly found it unplayable. Just completely unplayable. And what I don't understand is, people who say the controls for Turok are unplayable, and if they find, what's the game, yeah, GoldenEye, perfectly fine. The experience is the exact opposite for me. I found GoldenEye unplayable. I found Perfect Dark unplayable. Turok, the, Turok trilogy, though I only played the, well, okay. I rented the 3rd game and it was just bloody atrocious, and this is where the, I'm ending it because I cannot continue anymore. Anyways, I found Turok playable versus GoldenEye. The PlayStation is the console that I have the most fondest memories of during that particular generation. Yeah, and 64 not so much. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.